Hello, Pisces. This is your yearly tarot reading for 2016. And I hope that your holiday season has been going well so far. Now, my reading will be pretty simple. 12 cards, a card for every month in the year. And, just basically looking at the general energies that will be happening for you. As always, I want to thank everyone for their comments and the new subscribers. And I hope this yearly reading will be helpful for you. So I'm going to cut the cards very shortly. While I'm shuffling, I tend to get very relaxed. The rhythm of shuffling kind of helps me prepare for the reading, connect to spirit. Okay. For January, we have King of Cups in reverse. For February, we have Three of Wands. For March, we have King of Wands in reverse. For April, Five of Wands in reverse. Six of Swords in reverse for May. Six of Cups for June. The High Priestess in reverse for July. Queen of Cups in reverse for August. Death in reverse for September. Queen of Wands for October. Chariot in reverse for November. Knight of Pentacles in reverse for December. Okay. And there aren't going to be any outcome cards. These are pretty much your general outcomes for the year. Now, the first thing I want to focus on are the major arcana. And for the December 2015 readings, it was I kept missing the major arcana card of strength. For some reason, I just kept not seeing strength. So I think that's I don't know why I kept doing that. But you do have three major arcana cards that sort of tell me a story about what's going on The High Priestess is in reverse. The Death card is in reverse, and Chariot's in reverse, meaning that it doesn't seem like there are major events. There are only 3 major arcana cards out of the 12. They're not the majority of your cards. And so we're not looking at huge major events that are going to change your life necessarily. Also, it seems as if because you only have 3 out of the 12 major arcana cards, this is about things that are within your control. This is about uh, situations that are temporary. It has a lot to do with your internal energy and your influence over the situation. So it's not about huge changes. It's more about your influence over the situation and how you're reacting to it, how you're participating in it, and how you're taking control over it. Now, you have a lot of reversals. The only cards that are not reversed is Three of Wands. And this is the card in February. This is the card of long-term plans and success. You have Six of Cups, which is the card of memories and family, love and affection for family or old friends. And then Queen of Wands is upright. Queen of Wands is a card of inspiration and confidence. It's obviously the King of Wands, the King's rule, but the Queen nurtures and she gives birth. And so Queen of Wands is about inspiration and motivation and, um, that internal energy of desire, of embracing new projects and creation. It can be a very wonderful energy if you are an artist. But the major arcana cards is your High Priestess, which is about reaching your higher self, paying attention to your intuition. Death, which is about endings and new beginnings. And then Chariot, which is moving forward. And it may seem as if this coming year, and it doesn't mean that there aren't going to be positive things here. And I choose not to just say, oh, look at all these negative things. Your year is really going to be, difficult. I'm not going to say that at all. I don't even see that. But it is describing certain obstacles in your life that have a lot to do with the people around you. It can have a lot to do with your job. And it doesn't mean that when you get to December that you're not going to end on a high note. This is a year of accumulating energies of situations and actions of other people. So keeping that in mind, going to January, we are starting with King of Cups in reverse. And usually I do see court cards as, I tend to look at court cards as representing actual people or their energies in your life. And the fact of the matter is, you also have a King of Wands showing up in March that's reversed. And so these kings that are reversed, um, it can be certain people who are, um, whenever you have a king in reverse, you have a king who is ruling, who is overseeing, but he's losing control. He's not using his authority wisely. And so this King of Cups, which is cups is emotional. And I think Pisces, because you're a water sign, this could have a lot to do with you. Maybe your energy of love, affection. The King of Cups, when he's upright, he tends to rule with his emotions wisely. He doesn't get carried away with his emotions. He keeps them under control. And so January could be a very emotional time. Things are a little bit um, unstable. I'm not going to say necessarily crazy, but it could be that emotionally you are in a situation that you are a little confused. Um, you're trying to deal with emotionally, you're trying to come to grips with a situation that is not in your best interest. It could definitely be a toxic relationship. And so the goal for January is trying to get control over your emotions and maybe the emotions of another person. This King of Cups could be the other person in the relationship who is maybe a little jealous, maybe they're a little depressed. My basic feeling is that this is about a little depression after the holidays, that emotionally we're not where we want to be with our relationships. Our relationships might be suffering a little bit by the time we get to January. When we get to Three of Wands, this is a good sign for February because it does mean that we are looking towards the future. We're looking towards setting goals and putting things into place that will be big payoffs for us um, later on in the year. And so when you have Three of Wands, um, keep in mind you have water here, and the man is sort of distant from the water. He's standing on a hill. And maybe, Pisces, you may need to do that. You need to be a little objective about your emotions because he's looking out over the sea while the ships um, are starting their travel. And so you may need to, in February, um, get some stability. You see, he's standing on the earth. And if being a Pisces, you know that you love hard. You throw your emotions into when you're in love, you really are in love, and your emotions can sort of take over. And I think that in February, this seems to be the perfect response to these upside down emotions that you are getting some objectivity. You're looking out over how you're feeling and what you're going to do about it, what you're going to do about your relationships. So I am getting a sense that there's going to be a certain energy of let's take a step back and um, get control over things. And you're trying to look at yourself from the outside as far as your emotions and to see what it is you need to do to make your relationship successful. And also, in regards to career or money, this could also just be you also looking out over your long-term plans and deciding where you want to go and where you're going to send your ships. So this, I think, is sort of like a very positive response to this King of Cups in reverse. Now we have this King of Wands that is in reverse for March. Now this could be another person. It could be your boss. That's the first thing that comes up. Whenever I see kings, I do see people in authority as well. People who could be your boss, your supervisor. Kings could be your father. Um, it could be your husband. This King of Wands in reverse, though, I don't want to necessarily say it's about a person because I'm doing month by month, but it could definitely mean that this force of creativity and this force of um, artistic expression, creativity, spirituality is going to be reversed as well. That maybe um, you are moving forward with certain plans, but the energy that you need or the resources that you need might not come to you. Okay. In fact, one wand is going to be reversed. You have three wands here. One wand is going to not be available to you. So you're going to get off to a rocky start if you're reevaluating relationships. If you are trying to get some stability and balance, the King of Wands could certainly represent that. Wands that are, um, wands represent fire, but they can also represent motivation and goal setting as well. And so get you might not be able to get to those goals just yet. Okay. So the first 3 months of the year will have you emotionally trying to get your balance and trying to get things in order here, to make things successful, to make things productive in your life. And it could mean getting your finances in order or whatever. There's going to be a sincere effort to not make the mistakes that were made in 2015. Going to the next 3 months, we have April, May, and June. Now, April, we have Five of Wands in reverse, and that means conflict, competition. Sometimes it can mean an internal struggle. That maybe this internal struggle, I, I, I'm getting a stronger vibe that this is about an internal struggle that's going to stop by the time you get to April. And also, when we get to Six of Swords in reverse, Six of Swords, usually it means travel. It can mean travel by water, literally, but it can also mean moving to a new home, moving or taking on a new job as well. That could definitely be happening for you, especially since it seems that any conflict or obstacles that are happening here with Five of Wands in reverse are gone. But this is in reverse, so maybe you're not moving forward. Um, Six of Swords also, swords represents the psychological and the mental energies, and this usually means grieving or emotionally reevaluating things that have happened. It can mean some type of emotional, not necessarily confusion, but just going through a really traumatic event and trying to heal. Now, once again, Pisces, water is in this card. You'll see here you have calm water here, but on this side you have a lot of rough waves here. And so emotionally, because this is in reverse, I think this means for you that you're no longer going to be in emotional turmoil. And maybe it could mean a delay in travel, that you're going to stay put, that you're not leaving. It could also mean that maybe, if you're looking at this from a relationship perspective, that necessarily it won't be a divorce or there won't be someone leaving, that, like I said, things are going to stay put. And you have another six here, which is Six of Cups, which is obviously the card of family and affection, um, memories. This could definitely represent having a relationship that has a long history here. And if there is a relationship that has been ongoing, it seems as if maybe there'll be a more positive energy, a more happy place for you emotionally with the Six of Cups heading into June. And so, and also, cups are usually, as far as time frames, cups are usually associated with summer. And cups are your element as well. And so June will probably be a very emotionally fulfilling month for you, Pisces. Now, going into um, the month of July, um, first off, the High Priestess and Queen of Cups are both in reverse. And this is very significant because the High Priestess is the mother of intuition, psychic energy. The High Priestess is about reaching your higher self. And the Queen of Cups is sort of like the daughter to the High Priestess because she's not only just emotional, the woman in love, she's nurturing, she's nurturing to relationships, but the Queen of Cups is also intuitive as well and very spiritual. When this is reversed, the Queen of Cups can be someone who's very jealous, who's very insecure. And Pisces, seeing that Queen of Cups is your sign, this could have a lot to do with you. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be a jealous person or out of control, but it could very well mean that your emotions sort of start going topsy-turvy and that maybe your spiritual energy is going to be depleted going into July and then going into August. And whatever that situation is, um, it just seems as if, especially with these kings in reverse, you have a lot of major arcana kings and queens who are rulers and dominant in the tarot. These are dominant energies. It seems as if there's a situation you're trying to get control over, but it's taking up so much of your emotional energy. And so going into September, the death card is in reverse. And so maybe because whatever this is that stood still, there was no travel, there was no one leaving, you stayed put, conflict seemed to be resolved. And so this death card does not mean you're going to end the relationship. There's no ending here. But at the same time, if there's no ending, there can be no beginning. And, um, many people don't like the death card because, it does mean closure and starting a new life, resurrection. But sometimes that can be a good thing for us. And sometimes we do need it. And when we continue to stay in situations, we keep trying to resolve the conflict and make it work. Sometimes the results can end up with our emotional energies being depleted, our happiness being depleted, and we lose touch with our higher self and we lose touch with who we were meant to be as people. And, we lose touch with our higher purpose. So, Pisces, even though there's a situation that is draining you emotionally, there's still no ending. Death is avoided, closure is avoided here. Um, but moving on to October, we have no closure. We're trying to resolve. It seems like in the spring and summer, it seems like things will be resolved. It seems like things will be stable. Um, and you're going to be able to make things work in the summer. But it's going to take its toll as you head into fall. So, heading into the last 3 months, we have a Queen of Wands here. This Queen of Wands could represent um, another person. This Queen of Wands is very confident because she is upright. And this could be someone else. Now, this could be family member. It could be your mother, a sister who is more confident, who's more dominant about this situation. Um, Another woman in a situation, if we're looking at relationship readings, and I never ever, whenever possible, I try to avoid saying, oh, there's another woman or another man showing up in a relationship reading. But I definitely see these as two different people. I don't necessarily see it as changing energies. And that this Queen of Wands is going to have an influence on the situation to where there's not going to be a moving forward. Now, keep in mind that whatever plans you try to do here in February with Three of Wands, it seems as if the Chariot is in reverse, that things might not move forward. And also, you have this Knight of Pentacles here um, in reverse. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, knights are about action. This could also represent another person. It could also, it can also not only represent money or business opportunities, because usually I see this as a job offer that's coming to you. Um, I can also see this as new business opportunities that you're taking action on, that you're moving forward with. But I think there might be some type of business opportunity that you won't necessarily have offered to you that you won't be able to move forward on because we have the Chariot. And I think it might have a lot to do with this Queen of Wands here, who is, looking at it from a financial career perspective. Later on, there might be a Queen of Wands here, and this Queen of Wands is probably very much associated with these other wands you've got going on earlier in the year. And keep in mind, the man in the Six of Swords also has a wand. Um, and this is about not moving forward. The first thing that came to me as I said this is that Pisces, some of you might be moving forward with some type of business deal or business venture that you're trying to make work, that you're trying to get up off the ground. And I think there are going to be a lot of false endings. There are going to be a lot of false starts and false stops. Um, but, you know, it seems as if this death card is significant because um, you're trying to prevent the disaster or the ending of something. But at the same time, you're not going to be able to move forward. That, maybe the universe is telling you, let this go, let this situation come to an end. And once again, I realize a lot of people that this is not something they want to hear. That, this isn't always, oh, wow, so this isn't going to be a fairy tale ending. But looking throughout the rest of the year, it seems as if you are pushing at the same time. I'm able to look at the Six of Swords differently a little bit here. you know, even though this means people staying put, not traveling, in a way, this might not be the best thing. It could actually be you, Pisces, because you're a water sign. It could mean you trying to move forward and push and push and push to move forward um, against something that can't move forward. And being stuck or something, trying to resolve things and trying to keep them the way they are to keep people from leaving or walking away. Um, sometimes we do need to let go. And it seems to me that a common theme that's coming up is yes, we are trying to set a plan in place. We're trying to make something work. But, um, you know, the conflict, there's no internal conflict, whatever these external circumstances are, the Five of Wands indicates that, you're withdrawing from the conflict, but at the same time, you're still not going to get anywhere. And once again, this Six of Cups, which is indicating a long history, something that you've held on to for quite a long time, um, you're not going anywhere. And so you kind of still get emotionally stuck here because the High Priestess and Queen of Cups are in reverse and Death is in reverse. Um, this Queen of Wands is someone who's bringing an energy of the Queen of Wands always knows what she wants. And this could be a man or a woman. But this energy here is, I get a sense that this is what you're trying to fight against here. And maybe this King of Wands early on, the energy, the King of Wands can be controlling when reversed. The King of Wands, um, can be someone who has a huge temper, can lose control quite easily. This Queen of Wands, I think, is not necessarily the same person, but I think it's not the King of Wands. I don't think these are the same two people, but I definitely think that the Queen of Wands is someone who has huge influence over this situation that you are trying to prevent from changing or ending. And because this Queen of Wands has an influence over your current situation, that's why things are not moving forward. And um, looking at the Knight of Pentacles, not from a money or career, Pentacles also mean being logical, practical. This is an earth sign. And you can see that the Knight is not necessarily moving. His horse is perfectly still. Um, and he is taking on the energy, but he's still active because the Knight is still active with being practical, thinking things through. I think that you need to be careful, Pisces, that because you're such a water sign that's very emotional and you lead by your feelings, that you don't lose that stability, that you don't push forward in spite of all rational and logical. Um, you don't ignore logical, rational information. And this can definitely mean being a little impractical, not thinking things through um, for the year. But I think the general tone of this yearly reading for you, Pisces, is that starting this year, that if there is a career goal or relationship that you've probably held on to from 2015, and you still want to bring that into 2016. Maybe you still want to know, will this work out? Will I be able to finally accomplish my goal? I think the universe and spirit is saying through these cards is whatever was in 2015, you might be better off leaving it behind. There might be a situation that you will constantly keep trying to push against or trying to get control and try to come to terms with, but it's not going to be easy. And this could definitely be something that other people are doing, not necessarily you, but it could definitely mean family members or friends or a partner who is dealing with a situation, someone dealing with their own emotional issues, and they're making it very difficult for you. And so just know that this situation with either this person, and it could be a job, your financial situation, um, this situation and the people, other people involved with it, they're going to make it difficult for you to move on or resolve it. And it's going to be up to you to decide, maybe I will let this go. And even though Knight of Pentacles and the Chariot is in reverse at the end of the year, um, and I keep getting a feeling that this is a person in your life that you may need to decide, um, okay, I'm going to choose a new way of dealing with this person. And in that instance, Six of Swords you may need to start dealing with this energy from Six of Swords about moving on. And, this could definitely apply to a codependent relationship where you have someone that you react to a lot who is making you feel guilt or making you feel like you're the bad person in the relationship. And I think you need to make sure that you don't take responsibility for everyone else's emotions. But I choose not to see this as not necessarily um, you not being able to move on. I get a sense that there is a long-standing situation from 2015 in your life that will continue to have a few obstacles. And you might be even wanting to move on from that situation, but it's not going to be resolved or tied up nice and neat as quickly as you would like. And so things will be topsy-turvy for you, but I still think you're going to find happiness and some clarity throughout the year. And I definitely feel that um, some of these energies that are in reverse, these are energies that I think you still have influence over, that you are still working towards. And it doesn't necessarily mean that this chariot will not reverse its energy again and you'll not be able to move forward. But there definitely seems to be someone in your life. It could be the work situation, a coworker or a boss. It could definitely be this other partner, Pisces, that doesn't want you to have closure that you want. And it'll be up to you to decide um, if you do want full closure, what does that entail? And will that, and what it's going to require letting go of permanently. Okay. So that was your reading for 2016, Pisces. Um, I think that it will be a challenging year for you, but I don't think it definitely means you're going to be unhappy throughout the year. I think that the situation in your life is something that you will grow from. And like I said, it seems as if because of the major arcana cards, you only have three here. I think you do have influence over this situation. It just seems to be that there's another person or energy that might be making that difficult for you. Someone could be bringing this to you, and it'll be up to you to decide if you want to accept it or reject it or allow that energy in your life. So just keep that in mind throughout the year, that you have control over these things that are coming to you, and you can reverse these energies as well. You do have a choice here. Okay. So thank you so much for subscribing and watching the video. And I encourage you that if you want more insight, because this is a general reading, you should definitely think about in contacting me for a personal reading. I want to thank everyone who's contacted me so far. And January 2016 will be coming up. I think January will definitely give you a little bit more insight to what's going on here, Pisces, with this King of Cups in reverse. So I hope you have a wonderful holiday season and new year, and I will see you again in a few weeks.